Hey y'all, it's Tamika Newhouse here, and I'm back with some more tips that I think that you guys should truly know about, especially if you are a creative. If you're aspiring to be a creative, I want you to share that right now in the comments. Let me know exactly who you are, what it is that you're doing, and not only that, when you comment, people will see your comments, and you never know who you may accidentally network with. All right, y'all, so let's jump right on in. First, let me introduce myself. I am Tamika Jameson. A lot of you may know me as Tamika Newhouse. I am a national best-selling author. I've written 17 novels, 5 nonfiction projects. I'm in the process of releasing my second documentary, as well as I'm a producer. I'm a visionary, I'm a creative, and I have been doing this full time since I was 23. So almost, 17 years. Now, the 5 essential tips that I suggest before you actually start your creative career is what we're going to dive into. Well, I started using the term creative as far as back as 2010. And this is before I heard other people using this term or anything like that. And I thought of this word creative because I felt that we were artists and we weren't being recognized as such. So creatives for me was like connecting that dot, because when you think about artistry, you know, sometimes you connect to movies and music, and we can see what people do to get into those spaces. But when it comes to like filmmaking and being a content creator and being an author and being a screenwriter and things like that, what are some things that you actually should be processing before you actually begin those careers? And maybe you're in the beginning of that career. So the 5 essential tools for creatives when starting your career. Number 1, build before you launch. Now, don't wait for permission and don't wait for a perfect opportunity either. Start creating and sharing your work early. Build a portfolio, grow an online audience, and refine your voice while you're still under the radar. Meaning you don't want to try to figure it out when you're like big and popular, you know, or for instance, a video goes viral and now you're trying to figure out what your niche is. That should be your thought from the very beginning. So figure out what your approach is, what type of videos or content or stories it is that you want to tell, and rinse and repeat. Be consistent in that, master that lane. 2, you gotta treat yourself like a business. Like, creativity is the fun part, but if you really want to profit from it, if you really want it to ultimately make sense, you know, you have to treat it like a business. And often creatives and artists, they'll get so wrapped up in the art itself and not how this can make money and how it can make sense and how it can, you know, it can scale and how I can get opportunities from my creativity. So, you know, passion alone isn't enough. You got to learn about contracts. You got to learn about pricing. You have to learn what branding is, client communication, and time management. Creators, you really need to understand the business side, like to truly last long in this space. And you do want to get paid fairly as well. Because if you don't know, then how do you know if you're being mistreated? Or if you don't know, how do you not know if the contract isn't good? Learn business, y'all. Contract law too. And a lot of stuff you can just simply find it online. Google is always your best friend. People are always putting out free workshops as well. So do yourself the justice and just do the work. Number 3, find your creative community. Like, surround yourself with other creatives online, definitely in person. Like, collaborate, share resources, give feedback, and grow together. Isolation will really kill your momentum. Like, community really fuels it. I believe I talked about this in other webinars and videos that I have put out. And also, if you were to join my Patreon, which is patreon.com/TracyTamika, I'm giving out tips often about how to sustain in this thing that we call life, how to dream, how to activate your dreams, how to transition from work, how to balance it all. So go to my Patreon, patreon.com/TracyTamika, and I dive into all of that. But creating a community or involving yourself in a community and being connected to people, it really does fuel you. If we didn't learn anything during COVID and during when we were isolated and we were in confinement, like, we need people. Like, we were entertaining ourselves in the house by doing live streams and dances and challenges because we needed to talk to each other. We needed something to do. And it helped get us through that dark period in time when the world was shut down. And so if anything, if you don't really remember or don't are not connected with the fact that you need people, remember that time. Number 4, you need to iterate in the public. So share your process, not just polished work, y'all. Yes, it's great to show yourself put together because, you know, sometimes I do that too. But I will show you my raw, authentic self mainly on like social media. Like I'll get on, you know, social media with a fresh face. Sometimes I haven't even done my hair. Well, let me not say that. My hair's in a bun. But, you know, I'm not dressed up. I'm just being myself. There's no huge, great setup in the background, just like now. I'm just talking to you. And I'm just showing myself authentically, and people really like to see that. You want to pretty much let people see your growth. It really kind of builds trust and connection. And plus, early feedback is really more valuable, you know, versus trying to have perfection. People really won't be able to connect with you if they don't really know who you are. So really just let people see you. You know, if you live in a small apartment, if you drive in an old car, if you're working at a job that you don't like and then you get off and you go and tap into your creativity, let people see that. And then number 5, lastly, rejection is data. It's not a death sentence. So expect no's. You're going to get a lot of no's. But silence and critique is what you really want to tap into. You want to tap into what that rejection was about. Why they say no? What could have worked? Why didn't it work? They're not signs that you should quit or anything like that, but they're just signs that you need to adjust, adapt, create a new strategy, and rinse and repeat. So those are my 5 essential tips that I believe that you definitely should tap into when you are, you know, kickstarting this creative journey. All right, y'all. I will see you all here again. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Traces of Mika, as I dive into the world of travel, food, creativity, healing, and all of those things and more.